I think, first of all, we need to be optimists because it's very important to business. This is something we cannot miss. And I'd like to start off say that WTO is a success. In fact, it needs to be salvaged because what it did in the last round, the Uruguay round, is tremendous. Caterpillar has always supported free trade. It's part of our culture, it's part of our DNA, it's part of who we are. And it was very instrumental in the last Uruguay round in 1994. And the success that we got from the Uruguay round was much, much more than we ever thought. It was just multiplied as far as infrastructure, as far as competitiveness, as far as what our customers do, as far as our contribution to the world. And basically, a lot of our growth, we're probably about 3 times the size now that we were back in 1994, is greatly due because of this Uruguay round. So, if it was important back then, 1994, now that the economy is so much bigger, just think how important it is. Also back in 1994, probably a third of our products went to developing market, or emerging market as we call it now. Now we got over 60%. So the multiplier effect of free trade is tremendous. We talk about putting a lot of money, a lot of investments, but this is like a structural change that has a much bigger multiplier of trade than anything that we can do. So we really applaud the initiatives of the European community of trying to open up this trade and close that big gap that there seems to be still today between some of the key countries like China and India and Brazil, and also the United States vis-a-vis China. So think what this can mean if we can do it. Not just from a business point of view, but also from an efficiency point of view, but also from a human point of view. This free trade, this increasing trade and increasing activity can liberate a lot of people out of poverty. If you go into bilateral agreements, it's one country versus the other one, you might do 50 bilaterals out of 150 countries in the world. But what about the other 100 that are not part of the bilateral? They will continue to be polarized, and you know that at the end of the day, somebody has to pay if this polarization in the world continues. So we used to say that no deal is better than a bad deal, but I think, at this time, and at this stage, at this point, we got to say that no deal is a really bad deal.